everybody, and welcome to yet another episode in our 3.2 Carrera rebuild project. Today we're going to be tackling the cleaning of this engine. Now it's pretty schmutzy and pretty dirty. And you remember a couple episodes back we worked on the transmission, and that was kind of a lot of work, and in the end it was really the power washer that worked the best. But it got me thinking, I wonder if there's just some better engine cleaners out there that we could try? So let's go ahead and take a quick trip down to the auto parts store and see what we can find. Well, we're at the auto parts store and they have a bunch of engine degreasers here. So remember when we did the transmission, it just didn't turn out quite as well as I'd hoped. It was just a little more work. I thought this would be a great opportunity to try a few different products and see if we can get a little better result getting this engine clean. We've got Gunk engine cleaners, we've got AutoZone stuff. Let me go ahead and grab several of these products and we'll bring them home and we'll give them a try. We're back from the auto parts store with our stash here. We got a few things from Gunk. So Gunk actually makes more than one type of engine cleaner. They make a foamy variety, so we got one of those. And then they make a heavy duty gel. I'm really pulling for this one. And then they also make their original formulas. And then AutoZone also makes their own engine cleaner degreaser. We also have some of our brake clean, of course. We can use this for the really heavily bonded on stuff. It works pretty well. In addition, we have our biodegradable cleansers here that we can put in a spray bottle. So the simple green and then this purple stuff as well. They work pretty well towards the end. I think they work really well. And let's see what else we've got. So we've got our brushes back here. We've got a bunch of wire brushes, brass brushes, and some regular sort of nylon brushes as well that are really good. I don't like to use steel brushes on the aluminum for hardcore cleaning because they can tend to scratch the aluminum. So I like to use brass if I can find it, something like that, a little bit softer. We've got tape here as well. I need to cover up those intakes and exhaust ports on the heads. Want to make sure that we don't get a lot of water in those areas as well. Next, we have our safety equipment. So our goggles here and also gloves. Really don't want to get these chemicals on your hands. And also, if it's really, really smutty and really, really dirty, you can always just pull off a set of gloves and put on a new set and you've got clean hands. I really like that about gloves. It's awesome, actually. I've got our camera here that we've been using in all the episodes, and once we clean the engine, we won't have any signs of where we had oil leaks or any issues with the engine. So I want to take a bunch of before pictures all around the engine so that I can see, oh, yep, we had a little oil leak over here. Oh, we had this over here. Because once you clean it, all that evidence is gone. So we'll definitely be using this. And of course, finally, we have some paper towels and our microfiber. Now, these are just the same microfiber cloths I used to clean the cars when they were brand new. But once they've been through the washer a few times, they're really not super suitable for paint. So I use them as shop rags, and they are awesome as shop rags. Paper towels are nice, and they work pretty well, but they fall apart really fast. These things will stay for quite a while. I mean, you can grind the crap out of these things and really abuse them, and they hold up really, really well. So love these guys. Okay, well, let's break out the power washer and get started on the engine. To prepare the engine, I went ahead and covered all of the intakes with that tape, but I also have a piece of roll towel stuffed into that intake as well underneath the tape. So I'm kind of hoping that's going to help keep water out of those areas. The other thing I did was covered the distributor in a plastic bag. It's one of the few electrical pieces left on the car, and I just don't want any of this water getting into that. Any of the other ports that we have, like this air breather back here, I just have a roll towel stuffed into it. You can see a bit of what we're up against here. It's really not all that bad, just 30 years of road grime and a little bit of leaked oil here and there. As always, this is going to be super scientific. Just kidding. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to use all of our Gunk engine degreaser here and our AutoZone degreaser, and we're going to just sort of hit little slices here and see if any one of them's any better than the other, starting with the heavy duty on the right. Then we're going to use the foamy, and then we'll use the original. So that'll be like here, here, and here, and then I'm going to use the AutoZone one kind of down here, and we'll see which one one actually does best. All right, the instructions for all of them are basically the same. You just want to shake it up, and you want to apply liberally, of course, and then just let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes and then wash it off. So let's see how it goes. This is probably the schmutziest area I could find that's big, so we could get a good compare. Next, we'll try a little of the Foamy here. Oh yeah, it's way different, huh? Look at that. And now we'll try some of their original as well. Quite a bit different, huh? Boy, these formulas are really different, huh? Now for the AutoZone branded, let's see how it does. We'll do this area, let's see, down in here and down in here. So this appears to be a lot like the original formula. We'll let those marinate for a good 10 or 15 minutes. We'll wash it off and see how they did. All right, well, we've let it sit about 15 minutes here, so I'm not gonna cheat. I'm just gonna use the hose, and we're just gonna gently wash it down and see which one of these sections actually did the best. Well, let's take a look. Kind of as you'd expect, the heavy duty gel on the far right probably did the best. It's still not perfect over there at all. I imagine with a power washer it would do better. The center sections with the foaming and the regular, it doesn't look like it's even done anything. Now they do say to agitate really bad spots, but you'd expect it to do something maybe. And then over here is where we shot the AutoZone brand, and it doesn't look like it's doing any more than the Foamy or the regular formula. Well, if you ask me, the results aren't super great, to be honest. This bit I would have expected to be pretty much completely clean, and these to be more like that, actually. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it did all that much, but here's what I'm going to do. We'll give it another try. Now, this stuff has to be applied dry, so what I'm going to do is take and dry this whole area off, and we'll start over again. I'm going to use the really strong heavy-duty gel stuff, and we'll go ahead and coat this whole area, and this time I'll sort of agitate it a bit and see if that really helps. So I'll let it sit probably for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'll go ahead and agitate it and work it in. I'll give it a little bit of time to sort of settle in. Let's see how it does. It's been a bit over 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and agitate it, see if we get any better results. Boy, that's dark, huh? Probably noticed I went ahead and changed. Boy, I become a chocolate Smurf every time I do one of these projects, so I don't want to ruin anything nice. You. Well, that's pretty worked in. Let's go ahead and give it another 5 minutes or so and see if that helps at all.
A few moments later.
Well, I think we're ready to give it a try with our power washer and see how it did. I moved you back a bit. You don't want to get this stuff all over you. It's really schmutzy. One thing I'd like to mention about the power washer is that I do have it hooked to a hot water faucet. Now it isn't super hot, but I think it does really help to loosen up grease and grime. Well, let's take a look and see how it did. It's not too bad, but I would have hoped that it would have just gotten a little bit more. We soaked and we agitated, and these areas in here, I don't know. It did okay, but I'm not going to say it did a great job at all. Well, my conclusion is that it did okay. I suppose it's better than nothing, but it is kind of expensive. I don't know, it removed some of this stuff, certainly. Now, it was pretty bad, but I mean, that's what an engine is, right? Almost all the time, they're super duper gunky like this. So I think really what I'm gonna have to do is just get in there with a brush and get in there with my super green, my brake cleaner, some of this gunk stuff, and I'm just gonna have to scrub it. I don't think there's any other way. And then if you fine tune your power washer a bit and get a fairly tight pattern on it, it can really ablate a lot of that as well. Now we don't have just engine grime on the engine here. There's a little bit of cosmoline as well. It's kind of all over the engine. I think they sprayed the whole underside of the car with that stuff, and it's still here on the engine. So that really does require a pretty strong solvent to get that stuff off. Let's go ahead and just get to it. I don't know what else to do. I'm just gonna have to go nuts on it and get it completely clean. Well, holy cow, that was a lot of work, and I don't know why I'm surprised anymore at how much work this stuff is, but it ran really late that night and I kind of lost the evening. So this is actually a couple days later. I wanted to show you the finished product. I think it turned out really well. We actually got all of the goop and stuff off the engine. It looks quite a bit cleaner. I do have to say though, I am a little disappointed in those cleaners. I was really hoping they would do a bit more. In the end, it was really just a matter of using the power washer, going back with some scrubbing with some stuff, whether it be the green super green or some of those other cleansers and things, and then hitting it with the power washer, taking a look, and then moving on. That's really what it was. It was kind of iterative, took a lot of work, but I think it looks great. Now, one thing that I've noticed is that the aluminum is still pretty pitted in some areas, so it's not real bright and shiny and look really nice. I'll see what I can do to brighten that up a little bit. I'm really more concerned about the stuff you could actually see, so you'll never see the top of the engine because the shroud's over it, but the valve covers, I think I'm gonna see what I can do to dress those up a little bit. Anyways, it was a huge amount of work. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below and I'll get right to them. If at this point you haven't subscribed to our channel, oh my gosh, you've got to subscribe to our channel. This is so much fun and we've got a huge project. We got the whole car to do after this. Hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell next to it to be notified every time we upload an episode. Okay, so speaking of that, we have several other things that we're working on right now as well. So we're gonna have a couple of other episodes that are sort of thrown in interstitially here. We have a little 356C, little Porsche 356 that we're going to be doing a full tune-up on and work on that. So look for a few episodes from that. Our i8 actually needs an oil change, believe it or not. So we're going to get to that and get that done. That'll be a lot of fun. And then also our little 993 needs rear brakes. So we're going to get to that. I don't know if I'll do all the brakes or just the rears. We'll have to see. And we may have something really fun coming up with the 993. If it all works out, I'll let you know. I think it's going to be really cool. Well, anyways, thank you so much for watching and so hope you enjoyed it. And as always, a super special thank you to our Patreon supporters. All right, until next time, safe travels. Bye.